Bjorn is dead. For real this time. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to We Sibs, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we talk about your favorite movies and TV shows. Today we are talking episode 11, or episode 1 of the second half of Vikings season 6. Now, as you likely know, yesterday Amazon Prime Video released the entire second half of season 6, so it's all here for us to watch. I'm going to be going through it as quickly as possible, but if you want the videos faster, be sure to hit the like button. Also, click the bell and subscribe so that you don't miss an episode when it comes out as we review the entire second half. With that, this is going to be your review, your recap, your reaction, biggest takeaways all rolled into one video. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into it. Okay, so yes, we know the biggest thing to come from this episode is the death of Bjorn Ironside. This is a huge moment, but before we get into that, let's talk about the other smaller yet still significant moments from the episode. Starting off with number 1, as Bjorn is recovering, the biggest problem for Kattegat and Bjorn is having enough people, enough kings answering the summons to come and fight for the country against Prince Oleg. Now, from there, we have the arrival of King Makon. Correct me if I'm saying that one wrong. He comes and offers his allegiance and his forces, which help, but they're still largely outmanned and outsorted, I guess. The outlook is pretty bleak at this point in the episode. Now, King Makon ends up being a traitor, offering his allegiance to Prince Oleg once Bjorn dies, and things start looking like they're going south. Now, the second significant development from this episode is obviously what happens with King Harold and Olaf as they are both captured by Prince Oleg, and somehow, mysteriously, King Harold escapes. We have no idea really where he's at this point, but Olaf dies in a super G moment where he is burned and he doesn't even make a sound. Poor little Igor had to set him on fire, and everybody looked really freaked out as he was just like going out like a boss. So that's the close of Olaf's story, and I would imagine we'll see King Harold very soon in the next or the third episode of the second half of this season. The third significant thing we have to take from this episode, guys, and we've been talking about this for months now, is Ivar's plan to overthrow Prince Oleg. He tells Igor in a scene, no, once again, he does not want to be a puppet king. He wants to reestablish his throne, and now with the death of Bjorn, that's one less piece that he has to deal with. Now, he enlists the help of Igor, kind of manipulating him and tricking him, saying, I don't want to be a puppet king. Oh, you're the rightful heir. He's just got so much power. And Igor's like, how will it change? And Ivar's just a master in manipulating him and saying, we just have to help it shift. Things will always change. It's not like we're really doing anything. It's going to happen anyway. We just have to, help it along. But we know all along that Ivar wants to be king of Kattegat and that area, even Rus at that point. So I would imagine that once Igor is not useful to Ivar, Ivar will kill Igor, as Igor is everything that Ivar said. He is the true king and the heir to Rus, the Rus kingdom, and so he will always be a threat as long as he's alive. Okay, so we talked about the minor yet significant moments from this episode, but now let's get to the big takeaway, which is the death of Bjorn Ironside. Now, this is a significant moment, and we got 2 of these in one season. Obviously, the 3 biggest characters that have kept so many Vikings fans coming back again and again through good and bad seasons has been Ragnar, Lagertha, and Bjorn Ironside. And now all 3 out of 3 are dead. So it's fitting that it would be the last season, because I wouldn't imagine many people would stick on after this, especially if another season would be bad. This was against my better judgment. In the last episode, when Bjorn got stabbed, I thought he was dead. Period. End of story. In fact, you can go back and watch my video. That was my initial reaction. But over the year, over 2020, I heard so many people giving me hope, and I went against what I thought, and I joined the bandwagon thinking that Bjorn would survive somehow. He would heal up. But it just wasn't meant to be. All the other characters are nice and everything, but Bjorn was the spiritual successor to Ragnar, and the physical. It was his son, his first son. And so much of what we wanted for Ragnar, we were living through Bjorn. And so to see him fail, not necessarily fail, he went out with a bang, with a last hurrah. That was dope. He took 3 arrows and was just... Ultimately, I do feel like it's a failure because he wasn't able to take his place as king after defeating Ivar, Prince Oleg, and all that. Of course, this is a historical documentary drama, so we kind of knew what to expect, but still, you were just hoping that things might turn out differently. So let me know what you thought of his last moments, especially his death. I thought was one of the best, if not the best scene in the entire series. So I know that's going to be a hot take, but let me know in the comments what you thought. And now let's look forward into episode 2, which I'm going to imagine is dealing with the fallout of the crazy big battle they just had with all the kings in Kattegat, in that area, coming to defend Kattegat and really their entire country against Prince Oleg. And they won. They forced Ivar to retreat. I'd imagine they're going back to their kingdom. But I don't see why they don't just keep chasing them and just destroy the threat. Obviously, as long as Ivar and Prince Oleg and even Igor, as long as they're still alive, there's always going to be that threat. So yeah, episode 2, or technically episode 12, I would imagine would deal with most of that fallout. I think this is going to expedite the process of Ivar killing Oleg, and this is because he's kind of failed. His battle strategy failed. He didn't see this coming, and he was caught off guard. So this forced retreat and failed battle led by Prince Oleg is probably something that will give Ivar the momentum to kind of use against Prince Oleg, perhaps in the hearts and minds of everyone else in the kingdom, to overthrow him. Maybe he will be seen as the person who saw it coming or something like that. So let me know what you thought of the episode, as well as what's coming for episode 12 of season 6, part 2 of Vikings, the last one. Again, remember there's a spin-off coming on Netflix. Again, hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss when we cover that as well. If you like the video, be sure to like the video and check out our sister channel, The Laterquente Ledger. I've got other shows on that channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay tuned. We'll be right back with another one. Peace.